Welcome to the deep dive. When most people hear MBA, they often picture just one kind of path, right? Like a single track. But what if we told you that even inside one top place like IIM Mumbai, there's this whole range of specialized MBA and executive programs, each one really built for a different career path. And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. This deep dive, it's all about navigating that rich landscape. We're diving into your documents on IIM Mumbai specific programs, everything from their intensive executive options for people already deep in their careers to the full-time MBAs focusing on things like operations and supply chain or even sustainability management. Our goal here is to, cut through the noise, show you the key differences, and really light up the path so you can figure out which one might be the best fit.
Absolutely. And for this, we've looked directly at IIM Mumbai's official stuff program guides, course details, who can apply, how to apply, even the academic schedules for the next batches. So what you can expect is a really clear breakdown of each one. What's the objective? Who's it for? What will you actually learn? And crucially, how do you apply? And what's the selection like? Get ready for maybe a few aha moments as we dig into the details that make each of these programs, well, unique.
Okay, sounds great. Let's unpack this then. Maybe we can start with the programs for those folks who are already, building their careers, people with some solid experience looking for that next big step.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. And what's really interesting is how IIM Mumbai specifically designs these to speed up the journey for mid to senior level execs. It's not just a generic management course. We're giving very specific tools for different career stages. They really seem to understand what experienced professionals need.
Right. And the first one on our list is the MBA PG PECS. That's the one-year residential postgraduate program for executives. This one, it sounds like it's aimed squarely at empowering those mid-level executives, really fostering strategic thinking and maybe an entrepreneurial edge. They even have this acronym LIFT, Leadership, Innovation, Focused Management, and Technical Competence.
Yeah, that LIFT acronym, it's more than just catchy, isn't it? It feels like their blueprint for creating maybe a new kind of executive,
Yeah.
someone who leads change, not just manages. It definitely signals that shift towards more integrated leadership, blending strategy and technical skill. The course itself gives you a strong base in the core areas: finance, marketing, ops, supply chain analytics, but also lots of room to specialize. You're looking at over 720 hours of class time, industry mentors, hands-on tools, case studies, simulations, group work. It all leads up to a capstone project. And important, yes, there's placement support. That's pretty key for anyone looking to make a move after the program.
Okay, that LIFT idea and 720 plus hours in just 1 year. That sounds incredibly intense. Based on the documents, what kind of background are they looking for? Eligibility-wise, who can handle that pace?
Right. It's definitely about finding the right profile. So eligibility. You need a bachelor's degree, minimum 50% marks or 45% for SC/ST/PWD categories. But the crucial part is the work experience. Between 3 and 10 years of relevant experience after your degree. That's quite specific. Plus, you need a valid CCAT GRE score from the last 5 years. So for 2024-25 intake, that's like June 2019 or later. Or you could qualify through their own test, the IMAT.
Okay, got it. So we know what you learned, who it's for. How hard is it to actually get in? Let's talk about the application and selection. It sounds competitive.
Oh, it definitely is. The PG PICS process is pretty rigorous. You apply online via their portal, pay a non-refundable fee of 3,000 INR. And beyond the usual stuff, you need a statement of purpose, your SOP, which is your chance to tell your story, right? And 2 letters of recommendation, LORs, submitted with the main application form.
And the selection itself. I noticed this multi-stage thing. It seems designed to really understand the applicant. Stage 1, online application with leadership profiling, then an aptitude test, and finally a personal interview. What really jumped out at me was that the interview panel included faculty from both IIM Mumbai and IIT Delhi. That collaboration seems significant.
It absolutely is. That joint panel ensures they're looking at candidates from, well, both the management and the tech angles. It's not just about your grades. They're assessing a whole range of things: your industry background, your expertise, how your career has progressed, leadership signs, your goals, academic readiness, achievements, even how you interact. It's a full picture.
Makes sense. And for anyone thinking about this PG PECS program, some key dates for the 2025-26 academic year. Program starts around April 1st, 2025, ends March 31st, 2026. Final selections are tentatively around December 15th, 2024, with offers going out maybe by New Year's Eve 2024. And the intake size, proposed at 50 students. That's a small, selective group.
Definitely selective. And regarding the cost, the fees. The gross fee is 15 lakhs for annual payments, or 16 lakhs if you pay by module, plus taxes, of course. This covers academics, facilities, and a refundable deposit of 50,000 rupees. You need to put down 1 lakh initially to secure your seat. The refund policy is quite specific too. If you withdraw after paying in full and starting the program, you get 50K back. If you withdraw after partial payment and starting, it's 25K. But if you withdraw after just paying the 1 lakh seat booking fee and it's past the admission deadline, there's no refund. It's a serious investment, no doubt, but typical for a top executive program.
Right. And looking inside the program, the structure, it's 14 core courses, that's 42 credits, then 8 electives for 24 credits, and a capstone project or internship counting as 2 courses for 6 credits, so grand total, 72 credits packed into 1 year. The modules seem to flow logically from core stuff to electives, with that capstone sitting in the middle.
Exactly. And the calendar for 2025-26 shows induction and some prep classes from April 15th to 18th, 2025. Then the academic sessions are split into 4 modules. Modules 1, 2, and 3 build up towards the capstone, and Module 4 is for the electives, finishing up around April 2026. It's definitely a packed year.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. There's another executive program that really caught my eye because of its collaboration. The PGDXVLFM, that's Visionary Leaders for Manufacturing. This is also a 1-year full-time residential program, but the big thing here is it's run jointly by IIM Mumbai and IIT Delhi.
Yes, the VLFM. It's specifically designed to groom leaders for mid to senior roles in manufacturing and related fields, operations, supply chain, strategy, digital transformation, that sort of thing. The core idea, the philosophy, is about developing proactive leaders who can drive breakthroughs, really contributing to India's manufacturing push, including the whole Make in India initiative. It feels very mission-driven.
That Make in India link is interesting. Do the documents give any clues about how graduates actually contribute, like specific examples of innovation or process changes they drive?
The documents don't list specific graduate stories, but the program design speaks volumes. The whole VLFM structure rests on 3 pillars: technology, process, and management. It heavily emphasizes learning by doing experiential stuff, practice-based curriculum, group work to build critical thinking. The courses are meant to give you the skills to actually transform manufacturing in India. Case studies are central too.
3 pillars, tech, process, management. Sounds robust. What's the time commitment like, and how does that IIM Mumbai IIT Delhi split actually work in the curriculum?
It's intense, over 1,300 contact hours. A big chunk is focused on manufacturing tech, operations, supply chain strategy, leadership. Breaking it down, you've got about 80 hours for induction, 550 hours for IIM Mumbai's process and management courses, a hefty 364 hours for IIT Delhi's technical courses, 320 hours for an internship or research project, and 80 hours for international visits. So, for instance, IIM Mumbai might cover work system design, while IIT Delhi handles AI, machine learning, or additive manufacturing. You get both sides.
And some other key features of this VLFM program really stand out. There's an 8-week industry internship, could be in India or abroad, plus 2 weeks of international visits and industry treks. The faculty lineup sounds impressive too. Folks from IIM Mumbai, IIT Delhi, the CII's Gurukul, which is a major industry training body, plus international academics and industry leaders. It really seems focused on next-gen tech and systemic thinking for manufacturing leaders, tied closely with industry from the get-go.
Definitely. And eligibility reflects that focus. You need a first-class, full-time bachelor's degree in a technology discipline, so a BE or BTech. On top of that, you need between 4 and 10 years of full-time industry experience in areas like manufacturing, operations, or consulting. Less than 4 or more than 10 years won't work for this one. They also mentioned that sponsored candidates from good companies are welcome, provided they meet the criteria and have the sponsorship paperwork. It's clearly built for engineers ready to step up.
Okay, so those are the executive tracks designed to accelerate careers already in motion. But what about folks looking to launch into management or maybe pivot from a different background? Perhaps straight from undergrad or with less work experience?
Right, that shifts us to their full-time MBA programs. The question becomes, how do these, especially the specialized ones, prepare people for today's business world? It's more than just a general intro to management these days. These seem designed to be genuinely transformative, building deep expertise, not just broad skills.
Let's start with the flagship, the main master of business administration, the General MBA. This one seems positioned as the all-rounder, right? Equipping you for the broad business environment. It builds that foundation across finance, marketing, ops, HR, analytics, and they really lean on their corporate connections, industry projects, guest speakers, engaging with leaders, plus those collaborations with big international names like MIT and Kellogg. That adds a serious global dimension.
For sure. Eligibility for the General MBA is Pretty standard for top programs. A bachelor's degree, 50% marks minimum, or 45% for reserved categories. Final year students can apply provisionally, assuming they meet the criteria so far, and will finish everything by the time they join. And the big one, applicants must take the CAT, the Common Admission Test run by the IIMs. That's the gateway.
And the structure of this general MBA. It's a 2-year program spread across 7 modules, looks comprehensive. Let's see. 20 core courses for 60 credits, 12 career specialization electives, adding 36 credits, 6 microcredits for 9, 3 global online courses for 6 credits, a summer internship for another 6 credits, and a capstone project for 3. That adds up to 120 credits. Woo. Plus, you need to attend at least 10 industry academic talks in the first year. Core subjects cover the expected ground data science, ops, marketing, finance, economics. But it also includes newer things like AML applications, corporate finance deep dives, project management, and even an innovation and entrepreneurship lab. Seems like a good mix of breadth and potential depth.
Definitely. Now, shifting to a specialized track, let's look at the MBA in Operations and Supply Chain Management, the OSCM program. This one is really presented as a jewel in their crown, leveraging IIM Mumbai's deep expertise in this specific area. It's consistently ranked top 10 in India, which says a lot.
That consistent top 10 ranking is notable. Do the documents point to why? Are there specific curriculum elements or industry links that really make their OSCM program stand out from other top schools?
Yeah, they emphasize the experiential learning aspect, very strong industry ties, and cutting-edge research. They mentioned affiliations with big names from places like MIT. The whole vibe is that they're preparing future innovators and leaders in the field, not just managers. It seems focused on integrating the very latest practices with solid academic foundations. Eligibility for this OSCM MBA is a bit more specific than the general MBA. You need a full-time engineering or technology degree, any branch, with 50% aggregate marks, 45% for reserved categories, or you could have a full-time degree in specific fields like MSc Maths, MSc Stats, a 5-year dual degree in Maths and Computing, or a 4-year BSB Tech in Economics, again with 50% marks, 45% reserved. Final year students have the same provisional application rules, need a completion certificate by June 30, 2025, and the final mark sheet degree by December 31st, 2025. And yes, C8 is mandatory here too.
Okay, and the selection process for this specialized OSCM program, it looks quite detailed, broken down into 3 stages. Stage I is about hitting minimum CIATI percentile cutoffs for each section. For the general category, the example given is VIRC 80 plus C, DILR 80 plus C, QA 75 plus C, and overall 85 plus SIRE. But they do warn that the actual cutoffs might be higher, depending on how many people apply and meet the minimums.
Right. Then stage 2 is the shortlisting for the personal interview, or PI. If you clear stage I based on your CAT score and sectionals, considering your category, you get invited for the PI. And attending that PI is absolutely required to move forward. No PI, no admission.
Got it. And then stage 3 is where they calculate the final selection composite score. This is for everyone who attended the PI. It's weighted. CChat 2024 score gets 60% weightage. The personal interview performance is 20%. And something called the APWE score, academic performance on work experience, gets the remaining 20%.
Yeah, the APWE score calculation is interesting. It shows they value consistency, not just a single exam score. They're looking at your academic track record right from school, plus work experience. So how it works is they give ratings, like 1 to 10, for your 10th standard marks, 12th standard marks, and your bachelor's degree marks. Each of those ratings gets multiplied by 0.7. Then your work experience in months gets a rating, which is multiplied by 0.28. Less than 12 months gets 0 points, 12 to 36 months gets a calculated score, and over 36 months maxes out at 5 points. And of course, standard government reservation policies apply. 27% NCOBC, 15% SCO, 7.5% ST, 5% PWD, and up to 10% EWS.
Makes sense. It's a very structured approach. Now, the core structure for this OSCM MBA, it follows the same basic module and credit system as the general MBA, right? 7 modules, 120 credits. But the content is where it differs. The core courses are specialized, things like purchasing and supply management, warehouse management, logistics, manufacturing systems analysis. Even the microcredits are specific, like B2B marketing for this context.
Exactly. It takes the general framework, but fills it with deep OSCM content. Okay, finally, let's touch on the MBA in Sustainability Management. This one is really framed as a path to leadership in, sustainable business. It positions sustainability not just as compliance, but as a core strategic approach, looking at ecological, social, and economic factors together to create lasting value.
And this program has been around since 2001. That makes it quite pioneering, especially in South Asia. It seems to attract students who are really passionate about this area. The curriculum sounds like it blends management and technical skills developed with input from alumni and industry. The goal seems to be training grads who can weave ESG, environmental, social, governance, and safety right into a company's core operations. It allows students to connect ops, supply chain, and strategy with sustainability. They dive into environmental laws, GHG accounting, sustainable finance, circular economy models, all linked to the UN Sustainable Development Goals. They're basically training the leaders who will navigate things like climate impact, which is becoming non-negotiable for businesses.
Yeah, absolutely critical skills. Eligibility for this one is simpler, matching the general MBA. A bachelor's degree, 50% marks, 45% reserved. And, like the others, you need to take the CAT. The documents we reviewed didn't detail the specific dates and fees for this one, quite like the PG PECs, but you'd expect them to follow a similar pattern to the other full-time MBAs.
Right. And the course structure, again, follows that same module and credit pattern. 7 modules, 120 credits. But the uniqueness comes from its specialized core courses. Environmental law and policies, circular business models, process safety management, ESG frameworks, sustainable strategic management, plus relevant microcredits focus squarely on sustainability challenges and solutions. It equips graduates to lead with a real environmental and social conscience.
Wow, okay. That was quite a journey through the different programs at IIM Mumbai. It's really clear that whether you're an experienced exec or just starting out in management, there's a specific path designed for you. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all MBA situation there. Not at all. And when you understand the specific goals, the teaching methods, the selection details for each one, you really see how IIM Mumbai is strategically shaping students for very different roles in the business world. It really highlights their commitment to developing leaders ready for complex future challenges, not just today's issues.
It really does.
So thinking about all these diverse and specialized programs, particularly the ones focused on operations and supply chain and sustainability, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How might that traditional idea of a business leader keep changing over the next 10 years, moving maybe beyond just general management to embrace really deep specialized knowledge in these critical global areas? What kind of impact will these focused leaders really have?